Tournament of Death is back and it is coming to Delaware. Hello, I am Jake, aka Bomber, and I really have been waiting to do this. I wanted to see the brackets get filled out first before I just sit down. I get all the information. I look at all the stats because I'm a stats guy, of course, and I want to give my full-on prediction on who I think is going to win Tournament of Death 2022, or if you're like me, you've been following CZW for a hot minute, it's Tournament of Death 19. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all 8 competitors. We're going to be talking about the matches. I'll be throwing out predictions. I want to talk about who I think is going to win the whole thing, who I want to win the whole thing, and who I think should win the whole thing. And like I said, I'm a stats guy, so I'm going to be bringing all this unnecessary information that you would never need. You just want to watch a deathmatch tournament, but I'm a little different. I just can't do it like that. I got to get into the stats. If you can't tell, I'm a little excited. You know, when CZW made its comeback, there was a lot of weird feelings out there. I wasn't even watching wrestling at all at the time. So whether or not you love CZW, you hate CZW, no matter what you feel about the company, Tournament of Death is a big deal. We need to support the wrestlers. We need to give them all the attention we can because this is for them. You're probably going to hear me talk about legacy a lot in this video. Like I said, I'm going to give a full breakdown here. So I'm going to talk about, you know, the legacy of Tournament of Death, the legacy of some of these wrestlers that are going to be in this tournament that haven't been in the company in a decade. And I might as well mention it right now. Jobber Radio, through the Jobber Radio Prediction League, is going to be sponsoring this tournament. So please, please, please make sure you support the tournament. Make sure you support the wrestlers. And before everybody asks as well, this is not going to be streaming live. This is going to be on demand, czwstudios.com, shortly after the event. I've been told at least that it's going to be the same day, but we'll see about that. At least just know it'll be shortly after the event. For those of you that do follow the channel and you've been here before, you've probably watched the Cage of Death ranking video that I put together a little while back, a couple years ago now. But anyway, the biggest question I've had in my entire life, not just on YouTube, just my entire life from you guys, just hundreds and hundreds of questions. Hey, are you going to do one of these like ranking type videos for Tournament of Death? And the answer I'm giving you right now is yes. But it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's probably going to be released next year because a lot of work goes into that, a lot of research. I am going back through. I've already started this actually. I'm going back through and I'm watching every single match, every single show of Tournament of Death all the way up until this point, and I will include this tournament on that, you know, breakdown video. So yes, the answer is yes, it is coming. But anyway, let's get to this video. Let's talk about TOD 19 or 2022. I don't know if they're just stripping the number away from it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But either way, TOD 19, let's talk about it. First match we're going to be talking about is Insane Lane making his TOD return, going against Brad Cash, who honestly, I'm going to be right up front with you. I don't know a whole lot about the guy, but I do my research, so I got plenty to say about this match. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Insane Lane first. First of all, I follow Insane Lane on social media. The guy's lost a lot of weight. Kudos to Insane Lane. You're killing it, dude. I am very happy for you. But like I said, he was in TOD 6. He fought Freak Show and actually beat Freak Show, one of the few people in this tournament that has actually won a match in TOD history. I believe he's only the second behind Necro Butcher, but either way, Insane Lane actually does have a TOD win under his belt. Yes, he did lose to brain damage in the next round, but either way, at least he has a TOD win under his belt. We're going to see if he gets another one here at TOD 19. Now, when you look at overall like tournament, deathmatch tournament experience, Insane Lane is number 3 out of all 8 of these competitors, only behind Mickie Knuckles, only behind Necro Butcher. So experience factor, this guy's got it. Going back, looking at his career lately, I will say yes, he has been pretty inactive. I see he is coming back into wrestling recently. He's lost a lot of weight, like I said, and he is teaming up with his partner. More on Brad in a minute, but I will say, if you know Insane Lane, you know he likes the home run derby style matches, and that is exactly this match type. The match stipulation for this is a going yard bites match, which from what my understanding is, it's a shark tooth home run derby match. I don't know if they're going to be putting the actual shark teeth on the, you know, the big fat wiffle ball bats that like I said, Insane Lane's known for usually thumbtacks, but I'm sure we're gonna have plenty of those too. I don't really know exactly what to think about this as far as the shark teeth go. I haven't seen a whole lot of that. I don't know if that's Brad Cash's thing, but I don't know. We're gonna see how crazy it gets. Speaking of Brad Cash, like I said, out of all 8 competitors in this tournament, this is the least person I know anything about. I had to do a decent amount of research to find out more about what he is. I've watched several of his matches, and I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really good, especially when you got 2 people, they're tag teams and other companies and stuff like that. I think you're always going to come out with a good match. So who's going to win, though? Who is going to walk away the winner? Is it going to be Brad Cash making a CZW debut? Or is it going to be Insane Lane, who's trying to get back into the wrestling game and also, I mean, hey, he's had TOD experience. When digging into the stats, I realized that neither one of these guys are super active compared to everybody else in the tournament. I think Insane Lane's only had like 8 matches in 2022 so far. Brad Cash has had like 15, I think it was. So, you know, it's not like, you know, chump numbers, you know, every like, you know, once half a year and whatnot. But as far as everybody else, they are definitely on the lower end of total matches this year. But I'm going to have to, I think the win on all fronts, I think I'm like, remember I said 3 different categories. I'm going what I think is going to win, who I want to win, and who I think should win. I think if CZW wants to bring Brad Cash back, I think, or if they just want to use him at all, I think Brad Cash needs to get this win here. Insane Lane, he's one of the more, especially out of the people in this tournament, one of the 3 more legacy guys, the guys that, you know, the fans, the CZW fans already know. And let's be honest, Insane Lane, he's got a ton of experience, like I said. I think with these 2 guys being good friends, if Insane Lane had any say in it, I guarantee you he'd be the good dude. He'd say, you know what, give Brad Cash the win. I know that's not how it works, people, but come on. I mean, I'm going to go with Brad Cash getting the win here. Insane Lane being the guy that helps his little buddy get the win here. You know, I'm not trying to demean anybody if I say little buddy. Come on now. You know what I'm talking about. In fact, Insane Lane's the little buddy at this point in time. But that's it. In all 3 categories, I am giving Brad Cash the win in the first round. In the next matchup, I think this is on the same side of the tournament brackets. So the winner of the Brad Cash and Insane Lane match will face the winner of this match, which is Bobby Beverly making his... No, it's not. It's not. I was going to say making a CZW debut. I think he debuted... Like, he's only had 1 match in CZW. That was several years ago. So technically his second match going up against Otis Cogar, who is definitely making his CZW debut here. I like how we're giving the match stipulation names, you know, a little bit of flavor. It's not just, hey, this is a barbed wire match, blah, blah, blah. This is a wired savagery match, which is, yeah, it's barbed wire massacre. It's going to be barbed wire everywhere. I don't know if they're going to replace the ropes. Maybe this will be the first match up. I don't know. We'll see. But just imagine tons of barbed wire in this bad boy. Jesus Christ, what a picture here. Bobby Beverly is, I think, one of the more consistent. After looking at all the stats, by the way, he definitely has the most matches this year, which I have it up in front of me. He has 44 matches so far this year in 2022. That's insane. Somebody is putting in the freaking work. TOD 19 is going to be his second deathmatch tournament of the year. He made it to the finals in ICW No Holds Barred's Battle of the Tough Guys tournament. And going back and looking at his career, that's one of the things I've noticed in Beverly's career, which, by the way, this graphic has a misspelling on that. I don't believe there's an E in Beverly's last name there. The L, I think it's just LY. Anyway, distraction. Bobby Beverly, I've noticed over his career, he's gotten to the finals in several tournaments, but he doesn't quite get that dub. He gets there and gets it taken away from him. So we'll see how this one works out. And when I look up and down this tournament, I do think that Bobby Beverly is, without a doubt, one of the best deathmatch workers that hasn't won, you know, that big tournament, you know, TOD, any of the GCW tournaments that are huge right now. This guy, he's been right there at the edge, and he just needs a little shove to get in and get that tournament win. Because his opponent in the first round is Otis Cogar, making his debut, like I said. I've been watching a lot of stuff on him. I am a big fan of the Cogar brothers. I like what they're doing. Like, this match is like a Circle 6 match, the company that is. These guys both have had a lot of success in Circle 6, and they're killing it over there. So kudos to them. So it's interesting to see who's going to get that win, kind of representing, you know, unofficially Circle 6 in the TOD this year. But I will say, I like his style. I hate that I've been out of wrestling for the most part for the last several years, and I've kind of missed the big, resurgence of this deathmatch, realm of everybody coming in. And deathmatch isn't quite, as poo-pooed upon as it was in the past. I'm glad to see a lot of people get more recognition, and thank you, by the way, for a lot of those deathmatch companies that have been putting it on the map lately. So I'm hoping CZW can do some good stuff here and help elevate some of these guys. I will be very surprised if Bobby Beverly does not get the win here. Otis Cogar, I hope he has a fantastic performance. I hope he makes a better name for himself. I hope he gets a lot of eyeballs on him. But Bobby Beverly is absolutely killing it right now. I think as far as when you look at the first round matches, this is one of the more easy and predictable matches because Bobby Beverly is just he's just on top of everything right now. So I think this is going to be a big win. Bobby Beverly moving on. All three categories, like I said earlier. Who do I want? Who, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Bobby Beverly moves on past in this round. So we go to the other side of the brackets now, and we are looking at a fluorescent fatality match, talking Mickie Knuckles versus Orin Veidt. Man, this sucks because these are two of my favorites that I want to win this tournament. So here I'm gonna spoil a little bit of in-game stuff that I want to put out in this video, but Orin Veidt is the guy that one of my favorites that has been up and coming throughout the past couple of years. Orin Veidt is the guy that I want to see get a big name tournament win under his belt. And that's not taking anything away from Mickie Knuckles. Mickie Knuckles is awesome. I just watched her at the H2O show that we just sponsored earlier this month. She had a fantastic main event with Matt Tremont. You need to check it out if you haven't, Hustlemania 5. But either way, both of these two, I hate that they're facing each other in the first round. That's basically the bottom line. I would have loved this to be the main event, the final match, but here we are. We're going to see what happens. I got to pick a winner, so let's talk about each one really quick. I mean, what's not to say about Mickie Knuckles? She's got all the experience in the world. She's one of the few that have been in Tournament of Death. She did lose in the first round, however, to Scotty Vortex. It was TOD 7 for that one, and it's been a long time since we've seen Mickie Knuckles in CZW. But when you look at deathmatch tournaments in general, Jesus Christ, Mickie Knuckles has won almost every single one she's been in, as far as, all the Queen of the Death matches, almost every woman tournament, deathmatch tournament, she is either in the finals or she's won it. I don't think I'm being crazy in saying that Mickie Knuckles is one of the best deathmatch wrestlers, not even saying just women. I'm talking include all the guys in there too. Mickie Knuckles, one of the best. And this is actually going to be her 4th deathmatch tournament this year, which I am pretty sure that's more than everybody else in the field. Speaking of H2O, she made it to the finals of H2O's Ultraviolent Kingdom 6 tournament. I know she didn't get the win, but who knows? Maybe things can change at TOD 19 because her opponent is the Wizard King, my man. Like I said earlier, one of my favorites going in the deathmatch scene right now, Orin Veidt. It hurts me to even think that he can lose in the first round of TOD. I've been wanting Orin Veidt to be in TOD for so long now, since I saw him back in 2018 it was. But guess what? There wasn't a whole lot of TODs going on in between then and now. So it is what it is. Hopefully this is a first of many for Orin Veidt in CZW. This is his 3rd deathmatch tournament this year. He made it to the finals of the Insane 8 tournament, which he's been killing it in every year that I saw. So we're gonna, both of these competitors have a ton of deathmatch experience this year already, and like I said, he's my personal favorite. So it's gonna be tough. So I gotta pick a winner, and I'm going with a split here. Who do I want to win? I want Orin Veidt to win. Who do I think's gonna win? I do think Orin Veidt's gonna win. Who do I think should win? That's Mickie Knuckles. More on that at the end of this video when we get down to the overall finals of this tournament, because I got a lot more to say about that. But let's get the last first round match out of the way. We got the Necro Butcher taking on Big Effin' Joe in a shattered and bruised match. We're talking Taipei death match. We're talking panes of glass. Let's be honest. We already know Necro Butcher specializes in the punches. We already seen him in several Taipei death matches over his career. We know that suits him perfectly. In fact, with Necro, I got this whole video that I have planned out that I've been working on. I've been working on a script and all kinds of things for basically it's Tournament of Death by the numbers. Hopefully I didn't give somebody an idea they're going to go steal out from under me. We'll see. Kind of like WWE does their, Royal Rumble by the numbers. TOD, this is going to be number 19. Plenty to talk about in that. And this guy right here has the third most experience over any other person that's entered Tournament of Death. This is going to be his 8th tournament. Only 2 guys have more TOD experience. That's Danny Havoc, and that's the man, Nick effing Gage. Necro Butcher's won Tournament of Death 4. He's got 14 Tournament of Death matches. I could go on and on and on about, the experience, all this kind of stuff. I'm just glad that Necro is healthier and can actually compete. I was a little worried when I saw that he was announced because the last time, I was kind of away for a little bit. The last time I saw Necro, he wasn't in the best of health shape, and I was afraid. Somebody told me that he's on the mend, he's doing better, everything's good. So I'm just happy for that, and I'm hoping that he can come in and put on a great performance here at TOD. But standing in his way is Mr. Whitey Tidies himself. We're talking Big Effin' Joe. This is going to be Big Effin' Joe's second TOD. He was in TOD 18. What was it, like 3 years ago now? I think it was 3 years ago now. TOD 18, whatever it was. He lost in the first round to Casanova Valentine. Good match. That was my first time ever seeing Big Effin' Joe, so I got a good glimpse of what he's about. I've been following him ever since, because as a CZW fan, at that point in time, this is where I'm usually, over the years, that's where I'm introduced to a lot of deathmatch wrestling guys, because they come into TOD. I'd never heard of him, never seen before. Same with guys like Drake Younger and all those others way back in the past. Debuted and came in at TOD, made a name for himself, had a good deathmatch, long career. So I'm thinking that this is going to be pretty big for Big Effin' Joe. And if my research serves me correctly, I hate to say the company name, but XPW had a deathmatch tournament, King of the Death Matches, not very long ago, earlier this year. And Big Effin' Joe beat Necro Butcher in that tournament. So, and looking at what he's done so far this year, Big Effin' Joe, this is his second tournament of the year. He won the only other deathmatch tournament he was in so far, which is the Outlaw tournament. Yes, the Outlaw tournament. I had to look it up, make sure I was right. I didn't want to say the wrong stuff here. But he beat Alex Colon in the finals, which I wish I was doing these more deathmatch videos last year. Alex Colon absolutely killed it. He was my favorite and the top deathmatch wrestler last year, Alex Colon. So how's Big Effin' Joe going to do against the legacy man in the tournament, Necro Butcher? Personally, I think Big Effin' Joe's making too much noise in the deathmatch scene to be ignored here. I think he's going to come in and get the big win over Necro Butcher. We've seen in a lot of Necro's previous Tournament of Death appearances, he's really been that guy to help elevate guys, get past him, to beat that big name on the tournament, to kind of make a name for himself. I liked what Big Joe did at the last tournament. I think he comes in here and gets the win. I've seen several other people make their debut, lose in the first round, come back, make a big run in the tournament. And I think Big Joe's got a really good chance for that. So in all 3 categories, again, I am going to go with Big Effin' Joe to get the win in this first round. So I've already thrown around a lot of different facts and stats for you guys in this tournament, but now we're going to talk about the end game of the tournament. Who's going to win round 2? Who's going to go on to win the actual tournament? Here we go. I predicted Bobby Beverly and Brad Cash to win in the first round, but who goes on to the finals? I think, again, I don't want to say, oh, it's too obvious. I think it's it is a little obvious that I think Bobby Beverly is going to take the win here and advance to the finals. I think even if Insane Lane does end up beating Brad Cash, I think Bobby Beverly still makes it to the finals, and that's kind of a lock-in for me. I could be wrong, though. Otis Cogar could come in and just upset everything and just destroy my brackets. Bracket buster himself. It could happen. But, I've been doing this prediction game for a long time. By the way, check out jrpl.jobberradio. Join the prediction league. Predict some big pay-per-views, win prizes. It's a lot of fun. I don't know why I'm plugging that right here in the middle, but there it is. But yes, Bobby Beverly makes it to the finals. Who's he going to face, though? So I still think Big Effin' Joe's going to win no matter what, but who is he going to face? Is it going to be Big Effin' Joe versus Orin Veidt, or is it going to be Big F and Joe versus Mickie Knuckles? And what I want to happen and what I think is going to happen, I think Orin Veidt is going to win, and we are going to have a huge, I'm talking, this is going to be, if this takes place, this is going to be one of my favorite, most anticipated TOD matches in quite a while. Big F and Joe versus Orin Veidt. Another match that could easily be the finals. This part of the bracket's a little stacked. I'm just going to put it there, okay? No disrespect to everybody else, but I think this side of the bracket is pretty banging. I think if it does come down to Big F and Joe versus Orin Veidt, I think Big F and Joe will win and move on to the finals. What do I want to happen? What is that other option? Of course, I want Orin Veidt to win. I want Orin Veidt to beat Big F and Joe. I want him to go to the finals so we get an Orin Veidt versus Bobby Beverly finals. But remember, I have that third option out there. What do I think should happen? I think Mickie Knuckles, with all her deathmatch experience, I think it would be absolutely huge for Mickie Knuckles to come in here and get the win over Orin Veidt, take on Big F and Joe. I think there could be a lot of fun they have with that match. I know how crazy Mickie Knuckles is. I know Mr. Whitey Tighties. I think they can have a really fun, memorable TOD match. And I would like to see Mickie Knuckles get the win, take on Bobby Beverly in the finals. That's what I think should happen. So now we're talking finals now. We got Bobby Beverly, which I think is a lock, and no matter which way you look at it, I think Bobby Beverly is in them finals. But I've already gave you 3 different options, and I've gave you 3 different people to face him. So let's go through each one. Sorry if this is too complicated. This is just the way I wanted to do it. Let me know down below. I want to know all 3 of yours. I want to know who you want to win, who you think's going to win, and who you think should win. When I say should win, that's more of, we're going to talk about that one first, I guess. When I say who you think should win, I think that is who you think should win for the legacy of CZW, the legacy of Tournament of Death. Who do you think should win to make a bigger impact in the deathmatch wrestling scene? Because Tournament of Death has been, the big top American deathmatch tournament for a long time now. But over the years, yes, especially since CZW's taken their hiatus, GCW has come in. They have their Nick Gage Invitationals. They have their Tournament of Survivals that are out there. GCW has taken over the top deathmatch tournament scene. With CZW returning, if they want to make a bigger impact, that's why I think Mickie Knuckles should beat Bobby Beverly in the finals to win TOD 19 to make the biggest impact CZW can make. So that is my pick right there of the 3 options. Who wins TOD, who I think should win TOD 2022, October 29th. I think it needs to be Mickie Knuckles. Who do I want to win TOD 2022? Pretty obvious, Orin Veidt. I think this would be a major boost to his career. I know he hasn't won a tournament in quite a while, actually. So this could be a good resurgence here as we go into 2023, not long from now. I think this would be really big for Orin Veidt. He's already, making a good name for himself, but this would push him a little bit over the edge. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, that means Bobby Beverly takes another finals loss. But here comes the big prediction. What I wanted to happen, I already gave it. What I think should happen, I gave it. Here's what I actually think will happen. The finals will be Big F and Joe versus Bobby Beverly. Fantastic main event. Everybody's in for a really good show, really good finals. But in the end, there has to be a winner. And I think that winner is going to be Big F and Joe. That's it. There it is right there. Big F and Joe is my full-on main real prediction on who I think is going to win Tournament of Death 2022. And like I just said, I hate that for Bobby Beverly. If my predictions do come true, that means he gets to another big tournament or another just deathmatch tournament in general and takes second place. So who knows? Maybe that could be the really good story. Maybe that could be he finally gets to the finals and then pushes through and gets that big tournament win. Either way, I think we're in for a really good tournament. I think we're in for a really good time. Hopefully, this stacks up as one of the more memorable tournaments. I know there's a lot of people making their CZW debut. I know there's not a lot of people that have a big CZW name behind them. So with that said, those are my predictions for Tournament of Death 2022. I hope you enjoyed. I want to know down below, like I said, who do you think is going to win? Who do you want to win? And who do you think should win for CZW's Tournament of Death 22? And if you're a CZW hater, I totally get it. I really do. But no matter what, at least the least you can do is support the wrestlers in this tournament. They're the ones going out there really beating the absolute trash out of each other. They're the ones that have been doing it for a long time. Some of them a very long time. So no matter what you think about Combat Zone Wrestling, no matter how much you hate it, no matter how much you think all these other companies, A through Z, are better than CZW, the least you could do is support the wrestlers. That's what I'll say every day. At the end of the day, you hear it almost in every one of my videos that I put out. No matter what you do, support the deathmatch wrestlers, support just independent wrestlers, no matter what you do. And that's why I am so happy to be sponsoring Combat Zone Wrestling's Tournament of Death 2022. Please show your support. Like, comment, subscribe, retweet everything. Do everything you can. Get some eyeballs on this. Please, let's get these people more recognition, and let's boost those names up, people. All right, that is it. I'm in the video. I know it's been a long one. Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll come back and we'll talk about the aftermath of the Tournament of Death, but I got a lot more deathmatch stuff. We've got a lot more CZW stuff coming, and just a whole lot more in general here coming on Jobber Radio. So please stay tuned. One last little plug before we get out of here, jrpl.jobberradio.com. You need to check it out. I absolutely promise to you, you will not be disappointed in the content that we provide. So if you want to predict wrestling, go over there right now. Sign up. It's free. It is free. And there's a lot of fun to be had. So that is it. End of video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Jake, a.k.a. Bomber, and we'll see you then.